Hey folks, it's just that easy. Hey folks, it's just that easy. You mix it up, you fix it up, you do it yourself. He can turn your little shack into a first-class castle. Save you time and money and a great big hassle. Hey folks, it's just that easy. You mix it up, you fix it up, you sand it down, you paint it brown, you measure twice, you cut it once. It's just that easy.
Hey, and Happy New Year, folks, and welcome to the Shell Buzzy Ask Shell webcast. Yes, Christmas all over with. I hope you've had lots of turkey, lots of ham, lots of hamming it up, and lots of family get-togethers, and just having a wonderful, merry time. So, folks, the webcast, it's now, just a couple of days away from its new year, and on into 2013 we go on New Year's Day. But I just want to again emphasize the importance of what the AskShell.com webcast is all about. So please, folks, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, all your own questions, emails about your home and what I can help you with. All you have to do, as you know, is go into the club membership. It's free of charge, and send me an email. So today we're going to be answering a number of questions. Topics that we're going to be touching on today is humidity in the home. Oh boy. You can always tell when it gets cold anywhere in Western Canada. Also, sealing, that is S-E-A-L, sealing garage floors. How to stop that moisture migration, also any oil that's spilt on the floor, that sort of thing. Also, roofing, metal or torch down. If it's a choice, where are you going to go? Furnace regulations. What are you looking for? Regulations on what? High efficiency? Grant money that's being available through provincial governments and no longer from the federal government, but who knows? That could be back around the corner. Not too far away, I would hope, but I haven't got any information relevant to that as yet. Window installation. What do you do about window installation? How many homeowners actually will go out and buy windows and install them themselves? Well, I want to touch on the self-installed or the DIY, do-it-yourself installed, to that of professionally installed. Also, a leaky shower head. Oh, those shower heads are nothing but a pain, aren't they sometimes? But hey, we've got the answer relevant to just what happens to be the concern. We will diagnose it right here on the webcast for you. And here's one: hanging pictures, as well as mirrors in a bathroom. That's all going to be covered in today's show right here on AskShell.com. After the questions have been answered, they go on into our library for you to go in and check at any time. And keep in mind, you're viewing this show today, Sunday, and we have moved the timing. We've actually heard from a number of people that they're more satisfied with the Sundays, even though you can watch it at any time just by simply pulling it off the library shelf and viewing it. So AskShell.com, join as a member, which you have, or you're going to invite your friends and family to join, and then everything is there for you. Our offices will be closed over the new year and reopening on the January the 2nd of January 2013 at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you do require home improvement services over this holiday period, all you have to do is click on just log on to AskShell.com, and all the information is there. We have provided those emergency services where you may or may not require, like a plumber, electrician, heating contractors. It's all there for you. So by all means, check us out, and we'll take care of that for you. And also the show itself, as I mentioned, every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. The show, the Shell Busey AskShell.com webcast is going to be available for you. Okay? So 1 hour of information that I answer for you through your request through email, through the internet. Exciting stuff. With me today, as usual, I have Michael Gibson, the manager of the House Smart Home Services Referral. Michael.
Good morning, and thank you for viewing us today on the Ask Shell webcast. And just to reinforce a point that Shell made earlier, is during the break right now, while we're closed for the holidays, please make sure to check out our website if you do require a home service trade. We do have a list of companies that are providing emergency service, plumbers, heating companies, that kind of stuff during this time. So if you do require that, we hope that you don't, but if you do require an emergency plumber, just go to our website. There's a list there. We've confirmed with our members that they will be taking care of emergency calls during the holiday period. So as per usual, we've got some club member questions here that came in through our website for Shell. So we'll get right into those. And our first question, it's a bit of a lengthy one, but I think I need to go over all the details just to make sure that Shell has the proper information to answer the question. Starts out with, I have an 1,800 square foot home built in 1977. The main floor has a regular forced air furnace. The 3 upstairs bedrooms have electric heat, so they have baseboard heat. The main floor suffers from a lack of humidity in the winter. The upper gets ice buildup between the window panes due to excessive humidity. It should be noted that's between the panes, not on the inside. I've installed bathroom fans with hour timers, and they're 110 CFM, so those are pretty powerful fans. I have not replaced the windows, as is suggested by a couple of professionals. The moisture would be then on the inside pane and more problematic as the windows would then keep even more moisture in. I can see no way to get ducts up to the second floor to help in air movement, which is where he has his electric baseboard heat. He keeps the upstairs cool for sleeping, around 15 degrees, which is really cold.
That's pretty cool.
That's chilly. You need a big duvet.
Crawl underneath that.
Also, the attic has been upgraded under the energy grant. P.S. This is Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, so it does get very cold. He's tried a dehumidifier, but he doesn't think it helps much. So basically, how does he keep his humidity in check? Granted that he's got a forced air furnace on the main floor and electric on the top floor.
Great question, Mike, and one of which obviously will take a considerable amount of discussion because we are dealing with 2 floors and 1 home and 2 heating systems. And the human body, along with the lifestyles of the human body living in the home, and the moisture development within the home through the number of showers a day, the type of cooking, the type of pets, for an example, be it a couple of dogs and a cat, all this creates moisture. And creating moisture really requires the movement of air either by convection currents or by forced air currents. In this particular home, it was mentioned that they have a furnace servicing the lower floors and electric baseboard heating upstairs on the second floor. Those 2 systems, one being forced air, the other one being convection, will really create a different element of environment within the home. And that being the case, you must always add those extra items that will be required in order to compensate for the lack thereof air movement. So let's start at the top. Let's go up to the main concerned area being the upper level, the bedrooms, because that's where the baseboard heaters are. Now, baseboard heaters are always installed under a window, okay, unless installed by a do-it-yourselfer or by means of convenience where they install them was going to be better off in another location. I can tell you right now, they should be under a window. They could be affected, for example, because they are convection type of heaters. They could be affected by drapery, Venetian blinds, curtains. All of that could possibly affect the concern with convection heat within that bedroom. Exhaust ventilation in the bathroom may or may not have. You should have if you don't have, because exhaust ventilation moves air. When you're exhausting air, air has to come in to replenish, and the replenishment of air is very important because that has air moving all the time. So bathroom exhaust fans controlled by dehumidistats that you can set at requirement as far as moisture, and all that information's on our website. You can go into the website on Q&A, the question and answers, and you'll have all that information. Now, also moisture in between the panes of glass. If you've got insulated glass and you got two panes of glass with a sealant between the two, and you got moisture between the two panes of glass, you got failed glass. That glass should be replaced. Not necessary to replace the entire window, just the panes of glass. So therefore, that is failed glass. The seal has failed. If the moisture was on the inside, that's the inside pane of glass towards the room, then that is obviously condensation. Condensation formed because you've met dew point. And dew point is something that you have to relate to with a hygrometer or a relative humidity indicator. Because if you meet dew point, and incidentally, dew point is 0 degrees outside, room temperature inside 21 degrees Celsius, and the moisture level being 40% or more. 40% is dew point. So therefore, you must regulate the moisture within the home. You can create moisture in the home as long as you've got air moving. So ceiling fans, for an example, in the bedrooms. To give you an example, our own home, there is not a room without a ceiling fan. They are very decorative today, they're very helpful today, and they also keep air moving all the time. That way, the wash of air off the blades of a ceiling fan over a window will keep windows certainly dry if there are any concerns with condensation. So that is something you must consider upstairs in the bedrooms or convection baseboard heating areas. The furnace now, let's come down to the main floor. Down on the main floor, you want to keep that furnace operational all the time. You have a high efficiency furnace. The high efficiency furnace is something has got a feature on it that you can have it running all the time, 24/7, circulating air. Circulating air with ceiling fans upstairs, comfort level, you're just really creating it, and it's really good for the home and also energy efficient, I might add as well, because you're not allowing any cold spots. You've got that convection, you've got that air force moving, and you've got air being exhausted through the bathroom exhaust fans if you have dehumidistats controlling those. So having said all that, and I hope that you run this back over and over and over, because you can pull this show off of the shelf in our library and view it and keep an ear to it. There are things that you as a homeowner must consider to do, because if you don't, then you're going to be faced with the other scenarios. And the other scenarios will be cost of heating and certainly comfort level. So when you deal with condensation, exhaust is number one. Number two is air moving, and air moving ceiling fans or the forced air system. And a lot of homeowners have had brand new high efficiency furnaces installed, and guess what? They haven't put the feature on of circulating air 24/7. Does that pretty well answer that, Mike?
I think that's pretty good.
I think that's pretty good. How are we doing for time? I think that must have maybe eaten up a little bit of the time of the show.
Well,
today.
we had to answer the question, so that's okay.
You got it.
So, and we are due for a break, so we'll take a quick break now, and we'll be back in about a minute or so with more emails for Shell. So please stay on the website, and we'll be back in a minute.
And now, Ask Shell, brought to you by Springs RV Resort, a proud member of Shell Buzzy's House Smart Home Services.
Folks, it has been 1 year since Frankie and I bought our own RV lot at the Springs RV Resort in Harrison Hot Springs. That's right, we bought our own lot, built a beautiful deck and gazebo, and have had a wonderful summer. Our kids and grandkids love how close we are. In less than an hour, they can make it out to visit us, splashing in the heated pool or relaxing by the fire. The Springs RV Resort is rated one of the top RV resorts in North America, and now we know why. The amenities are first class, from the spa-like bathrooms to the beautiful gardens. But don't wait till next summer to purchase or rent your own RV lot. The resort is over 70% sold, so right now is the time to buy. Folks, visit the Springs RV Resort in Harrison for a tour and ask about their special fall pricing, or visit online at springsrv.com.
And welcome back, folks. Shell Busey here with the AskShell.com webcast, and we're answering emails. And we answered the emails so everyone can get value out of the questions, because the questions are the most important thing. And I have Michael Gibson here. He reads the email directly from you, and I will answer them. And I hope that you find it interesting, because I tell you, I find it very exciting and helpful at this end, even with my involvement, getting that information out to you. Education, one of the biggest items today in home improvement. Michael?
On to the next one. So we have a question here from another House Smart Club member. They say, the person who did our cement floor in the garage did not tell us to seal it. This is back in 2004, so 8 years ago. We were very dumb at the time, not thinking. After the first year of exposure to salt from our car tires, the cement was eaten away in spots. They sealed it the second, third years, but the spots are still there with broken concrete, cracks, and whatnot. How should we proceed to fix this? Aggregate is too expensive, aggregate concrete. Can we fix the holes and reseal it? They said one of the holes is as big as 24 inches by 8 inches. So they're big holes. So they're wondering, how can they fix it and probably prevent it in the future?
Well, that's a very good question as well. And one of the items that I would like to make reference to here, and you will find at times during my shows, be it radio-wise or be it on the webcast, that I'll make reference to concrete. Concrete is made up of cement, sand, and aggregate, and other additives in the event of the time of the year and the type of project that you're doing. So therefore, if you use the term cement, I will correct it all the time and bring it out and back to you as concrete. Because if I didn't, guess what? I would have people phoning me and saying, come on, Shell, you know that's not cement, it's concrete, when you mix all those ingredients together. So therefore, just education, again, that's the most important thing when it comes to the webcast. And it's Portland cement, type 10. Yeah, I certainly remember doing lots of that. So let's get back into the emails. And Michael, who's next?
Next one. It's about a roofing concern. I needed a roof. I currently have a T&G.
You were talking about garage floor. I was supposed to answer the garage floor.
I thought you didn't quite finish. But
I got talking about concrete, but how to repair it.
Yeah.
Sorry there, Michael. By golly, give me a kick in the shins and call me Harry.
I can't reach that far, but...
But no, actually, I was just going through the concrete versus cement terminology. But concrete floors in garages, if you live in an area where there's a lot of calciumation and calcium used on roads, being brought into the vehicle and the water and all the crud that comes off the bottom of your vehicle, yeah, you're going to run into alkalinity. You're going to run into concerns with the concrete breaking up. Spalling is the term that's used there. And that can all be repaired. Here's what you do. Very simply, pick a dry day, spring, summer, not this time of the year. Even if your garage is heated, you don't do it this time of the year, okay? Because the concrete will be cold, relevant to the ground temperature underneath. So wait till that garage warms up, the concrete warms up, and then you wash the floor down using a muriatic wash, muriatic acid wash. All the instructions are on it. You can get muriatic acid at paint stores like Cloverdale Paint or any one of your paint stores, and you follow the instructions for washing concrete. Now, when you wash the concrete, it'll all foam up using the mixture of about 30% acid to 70% water. Once you've scrubbed it, after applying, and I suggest you apply it by very simply taking a broom, a corn broom, dipping it in, spreading it around, and let it foam up, scrub it with a broom, and then hose it off. And it is environmentally friendly. It'll all dissipate down through the ground, and it won't cause any concern with any of your garden areas or whatever. Just make sure it's washed in well. Once you've done all that, you've got that all cleaned up, now you're ready to put your seal coats as well as your repair concerns taken care of. Like I heard 24 by 8 inches hole. Well, that is going to have to be repaired by using products called bonded topping mix, for an example, is one. Bonded topping mix says it's all in its name. It has a bonding material within the topping, and you take the information from the package, use it, it's on the bag, and it is extremely well. We're very much part of that over the years in the industry of do-it-yourself. That's being myself in the educational classes that I've done. So once you've got the bonded topping mix, or top and bond is another one, then follow the instructions, patch all your holes, patch all your cracks and any imperfections on the concrete surface. Once that's all finished, let it cure for 48 hours. Now you're ready to seal the concrete. Excuse me. And you seal the concrete with products like AquaSeal. AquaSeal is a product, again, you can get at your paint stores. Cloverdale Paint has got their own. And you seal it. You put it on by flooding it out in a puddle and then spreading the puddle around with a squeegee or, again, a push broom, okay, or even a roller. The main thing is puddle it out. Don't put it in a tray and like painting the floor. It won't work, okay? Puddle it out, spread it around, let it cure, and it can be curing again for about 48 hours before you drive on it. And then after that is all completely taken care of, you're having not only a satisfactory project finished, it is there and it's going to service you well with any moisture or alkaline or any calcium that may come up from the surface or off your vehicles. It's just that easy. Mike?
And that was the complete answer.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that one. It's time for another break, so we'll take a quick break. You can watch a quick video we put together for you, and we'll be back with more questions from our HouseSmart Club members in just a minute.
And now Ask Shell, brought to you by West Coast Molding and Millwork, a proud member of Shell Buzzy's HouseSmart Home Services.
Folks, when people ask me who they should contact about a home finishing project, I always recommend West Coast Molding and Millwork. In the West Coast showroom, you'll see more home finishing options than you ever thought possible. West Coast has a huge inventory of moldings, but they also have stair components, including handrails, wood or metal spindles, and all the rail fittings to go with it. And with their own millwork shop, West Coast can match any molding or even build you a freestanding spiral staircase. If you're planning a reno or a new home project, make sure to have West Coast Molding on your team. The West Coast staff have years of experience and super product knowledge. Call West Coast Molding and Millwork at 604-513-1138 or visit westcoastmolding.com. It's just that easy, folks.
And welcome back, folks. I'm Shell Buzzy. You're watching and participating in my AskShell.com webcast. And we answer emails. And we're going to go right back at emails. Michael Gibson, my manager, he's going to read it, and I'll answer it. It's just that easy. And incidentally, Happy New Year. Mike?
Yeah, on to the next email. Comes from a homeowner. They say, I need a new roof. I currently have a T&G, so tar and gravel roof, which needs replacement. The pitch is about 212. So I guess if you can explain what that pitch means, that'd be helpful after too. Should I go with the torch-on or metal roofing system? I can understand the inherent advantages of the metal roof, but I worry about the backup of water underneath the metal if we get freezing conditions so the water can't run away based on the low slope of the roof. Regarding the tar and gravel, I've been advised that it's hard to get a good bond between the two layers. I also worry that there's no protective coating on top. Can you advise what my best option would be?
Well, you bet I can. That's the whole reason for being part of the Shell Buzzy House Smart Club, because it allows you to send us an email and you get the right answers from the experience of myself being in the industry for, well, over 50 years now. So the answer to this question is really whatever you desire, but. And that but is relevant to who are you using to do the work or to apply or to install your new roof. So first and foremost, let's deal with the roof itself. It is considered and recognized as a low pitch roof. Now, low pitch, as Michael indicated, maybe I could explain what pitch is all about. And 212 pitch, what that really means, and incidentally 212, 2.5, and 12, 3 and 12, 3.5, and on up it goes right up to a 12 pitch. You get a 45 degree or right angle at the top. So there's all kinds of pitches and greater than right angles at the top as well. But this case, 212 means this. At the center of the roof, be it a truss roof or be a common rafter, from the center of the roof, you drop a plumb bob down to where the top of your ceiling panel would be, or the top or the bottom, if you want to call it, of the bottom chord of your truss. Center of the truss at the bottom. Let's put it in simple terms. From that particular point, that 2 is the rise. And the 12 really is the run of the rafter or the truss. So for every 12 inches of run, you go up 2 inches. So if you've got 8 feet of run, 8 times 2, you're going up 16 inches, and that's the pitch of the roof. So you got run, and then you got your rise, and then you got your pitch. It's just that easy. So there's the answer to that,
Thank
Mike.
you.
So being at 212, that is considered a low pitch roof. Now, what would Shell Buzzy do with a low pitch roof that has a tar and gravel and, as Mike indicated, T&G roof? T&G, tongue and groove, can be called the same thing, T&G, or tar and gravel, which this relates to. Now, tar and gravel may have a tongue and groove sheeting underneath it because of the age of the home. Or it may have a shiplap. And a shiplap is where you have a half lap on the boards forming the sheeting of the roof. Now, those items are really irrelevant with the exception of one thing. Tar and gravel functions quite nicely on top of tar and gravel and tongue and groove or shiplap. Plywood even serves you better because there's less movement. There's a lot of movement in shiplap or tongue and groove sheeting when you put a tar and gravel roof on top. So tar and gravel will allow a certain amount of tolerance movement within the finish of that roof. So if you're putting down, for an example, a new roof, replacing that of a tar and gravel roof, and that new roof is going to be, let's say, a torch down roof, then that roof will have to have applied over top of the shiplap or tongue and groove a plywood or OSB first. It has to be structurally sound, obviously, and it has to be designed in order to eliminate any movement through expansion and contraction of the boards, of the sheeting boards. So then you have the tar and gravel comes off, the plywood or OSB goes down. Over top of that, your what we call the slip sheets, and those are your sheets that go down on top of the plywood or OSB prior to your torch down, which is a roofing that is torch down with a tiger torch, a very hot torch, and you want to make sure that whoever's doing the work, and especially like people like we have on our House Smart Home Services referral, they're qualified and insured because you don't want to burn a house down.
Yeah, and it's special insurance they have to have too. So
You
make
bet.
sure they show you that proof of their insurance because it's not an inexpensive insurance for them to have. And
That's the trade.
exactly.
Make sure that they are
Exactly.
insured third-party liability.
Correct.
Right. Okay, so from that point, then you proceed with the type of roofing, the color, etc. Keep in mind it's 212 pitch. Not too many people are going to see it unless they're living up above your home, looking down on it. The other end, so therefore that would be choice number one. A metal roof is something that is a choice as well today. Something that I'm not really keen on low pitches. I've done it. I've been on job sites where it's done, but it does require a change in plans once you've tore the old tar and gravel off. Like you take the tar and gravel off, you apply over top of your sheeting boards, if it is sheeting boards, and in most cases those homes will be lumber sheeted. Because in those days when they built those homes, they used the forming material from the foundation as your roof sheeting. So they would go over top of that with the tar and gravel because it moves. But now that you're taking tar and gravel off, you put down what's called an impregnated sheeting board, which is a Donnacona impregnated with asphalt. It goes down first, over top of which you go with tar paper, over top of which you go with steel. And that stops any of the freezing and backing up and all the rest of it underneath, and also sound of rain, for example, or hail coming down on top of a metal surface. Tar and gravel replacement, my choice would be torch. That's a torch down fiberglass laminated type of roofing. It's just that easy. So, and make sure that you do use, and that's where Michael's responsibilities at Shell Busey's House Smart Home Service Referral is very involved in selecting and certifying and qualifying those companies to be part of our service.
Yeah, we have roofers that specialize in every kind of roofing. We have a flat roofer, metal roofer, pitched roofer, roofing repair person, also cedar company too. So we make sure they're insured, also licensed to be doing what they're doing, and we can recommend them to you. You can find them on our website. So that's a good point, that we do make sure our roofing contractors are the best.
You got it.
And on that note, we're going to take another break, and we'll be back in just a minute or two, and please stay with us.
And now Ask Shell, brought to you by 21st Century Roofers, a proud member of Shell Busey's House Smart Home Services.
Folks, there are a lot of different roofing options these days, and I'm always being asked what type of roof is the best. If you're considering asphalt shingles, fiberglass laminate shingles, metal roofing, or SBS torch-on roofing, you should talk to Andrew at 21st Century Roofers. They've been in business since 1978, and for a good reason. With top-notch products, craftsmanship, and service, 21st Century Roofers work hard every day to earn and maintain their reputation. 21st Century Roofers are a Master Elite Certified GAF installer, and they're a local company with thousands of satisfied customers. Call 21st Century Roofers at 604-581-1666. That's 604-581-1666. It's just that easy.
And welcome back, folks. My name is Shell Busey, and you're watching our webcast, AskShell.com. And most of you being members of my Shell Busey House Smart Club, you're very much aware of the fact now, because of all the notices and information and newsletters that's gone out of our office, indicating that our show now, rather than on Thursday evenings, it is now on Sunday mornings. And we do pre-record the show because this way we're able to put together a number of shows and also pull out of all the emails that we require from our club members informational items required by you, and those real good questions that will help a lot of homeowners out there with the educational content of their home and how their home works. So we'll go right back to Michael Gibson. And Mike, before you read the next, what about Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and LinkedIn and all
Yep.
these sort of things that we're involved in now?
Yeah. So if people are watching the webcast right now, as you're watching us on AskShell.com, you're probably involved in some kind of social media. So to make it easier for people to find us, to find quick tips and information or news items of interest that we may have just come across, we are active on Facebook as well as Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So those are the 4 main social media sites that we have information on. And we're very easy to find. If you visit any of those websites, all you have to do is search for Shell Buzzy. We come up, and you can add us as a friend on Facebook or follow us on Twitter or follow our channel on YouTube. And that way you can find everything really quick and easy. The function of Twitter is basically to get information out really quick. And that's what we do there. So for example, on Monday mornings after the province has been printed in the Lower Mainland and throughout BC, we put our article up there because some people don't get the province. They might like to see the article, so it goes up on the website. And that's one example of what you can find. So if you're on the internet, please be sure to find us on Facebook and Twitter, and also watch our videos on YouTube, which we do archive these videos on YouTube as well from the webcast. So that's our social media.
You know, one thing that we've never mentioned on our webcast, and that is that we have a lot of links to our whole website. I mean, we've got thehousemart.com, we've got askshell.com, Shell Buzzy, all these.
It's just at easy.com.
There's just so many of them, but we've tried and tweaking it for a number of years now, and we have found that askshell.com is really one of the most appropriate, unless you've already got it logged on to their.
A lot of people have bookmarked it, so
Yeah.
they've gone to previous addresses that we've used. But
Right.
you know, you can even Google Shell Buzzy, and you'll come up at the top. That's your name, so you
Good
should.
Good stuff. Okay, next
Yeah,
email.
next email. I hear there are new regulations around installing a furnace in a townhome. Can you tell me where to look for these? So where can they find that information? They have an existing vent that goes out through the roof. Can I also use this vent to vent a new high-efficient furnace?
Well, that's a very good question, and boy, is that a loaded one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a loaded question. As soon as you mention townhouse, condominium, apartment, row housing, all of those items, all of those categories will relate to what's called a strata. And a strata does not allow the homeowner, and I would say in the majority of cases, in fact, I can't even think of one right now, that would be allowing you as a homeowner to change the B-vent stacking, that's your vent for the old low efficiency or mid efficiency furnace, or installing a high efficiency one which would vent out through the wall, because that is all common area, and that is strata responsible for approval to have any product or installation of product through that wall. So number one, before you do anything, make certain that your strata has approved whatever it is that you're planning on doing. As far as new rules and regulations really, when you're dealing with a furnace, is dealing with gas. First of all, they have to be installed by a gas fitter, a qualified certified gas fitter, and that qualified gas fitter must take out a permit, and the permit will relate to that particular address. And there are a number of installed means or processes or procedures to follow, be horizontal exhaust or combustion air pickup, or vertical up through an existing portal where you would have the B-vent for your existing furnace. Keep in mind, most furnaces today vent into a B-vent, which is a double-lined chimney pipe that goes to the roof, and your hot water tank as well vents into that. So if you were to take the furnace high efficiency away, you still have the hot water heater or your hot water tank to vent through that. And in the event, if you were not concerned about changing the B vent, with the hot water heater staying in place, you would have to downsize the B vent by putting a liner in it to accommodate the hot water heater.
Right.
So that sort of thing is something that's very important,
Yep.
because otherwise you get a lot of water.
Well, and also the new regulation with respect to the high-efficiency furnaces. You can't buy the mid-efficiency furnaces anymore. Some people might have a few left, but not many.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mid-efficiency furnaces are really the in thing. In fact, as you know, I can go on and on and on about, in fact, we did last week on the program, which you can take last week's program off of our website, and you can see and hear from me the concerns that you have by putting in a high-efficiency furnace that you could possibly run into. But it's all explained there on that program. But as far as regulations, make sure that you know what it is that you're going to be involved in. Make sure that the company you're dealing with is qualified to work on any grant money that's available for you. Make sure that the installation has been approved by your strata. Make sure that the company is installing it is going to be able to service it, and also service it with the understanding that that quality of furnace is going to be really repaired or maintained by a company that knows the furnace. There's all on our website, folks. If you go to askshell.com, go into the question and answers and refer to questions to ask when buying a new furnace.
Yep.
All the regulations are there.
Yep.
All the information's there. And that's why we're known in Western Canada for the leading information on home repair, home information, and most important, home renovations, which we have a home renovation division, Shell Busey's Home Improvements, as well as Michael's position here managing Shell Busey's House Smart Home Services. And that's all services from A to Z. Back to you, Mike.
And it's time that we take a break. So just to remind everybody that that information is on the website. We have a whole checklist that Shell put together outlining what questions to ask when purchasing a new furnace, heat load calculation, lots of good information there that you should have if you're meeting with a contractor, just so you know what to expect. And it's just that easy to see it on our website. So please stay with us. We'll be back in a minute.
And now Ask Shell, brought to you by Serpentine Cedar Roofing, a proud member of Shell Busey's House Smart Home Services.
Tony Weens from Serpentine Cedar Roofing is often asked why Serpentine is so unique in the roofing business. Tony tells people that for over 30 years, their family has operated their own cedar shake mill and produced only the highest quality cedar roofing shakes. And folks, Serpentine don't cut down any trees to produce their roofing shakes. You heard right. They use only recovered, old-growth western red cedar salvaged from windfalls on the BC coast. A Serpentine cedar roof is the real deal. Their experienced crew can expertly install your new roof, replace or repair your existing roof, or help you with any of your roofing needs. To arrange a free estimate, visit Serpentine Cedar Roofing online at cedaristherealdeal.com. That's cedaristherealdeal.com.
And welcome back, folks. Shell Busey here on the AskShell.com webcast, and broadcasting answers to email questions. And emails are so important that you as homeowners get the correct answers. There's nothing more frustrating than getting on the phone and phoning many people, or going to the website and going to many websites in order to get information. You just don't get it. Well, that's what it's all about, folks, here on the Shell Busey webcast, AskShell.com. So I hope that information that you do receive from me, you can put it to use or service and have the project done, and you, well, certainly take and get nothing but the best job complete by yourself or by whoever it is that's going to do it service-wise. We'd like to think that we'd like to service you with the Shell Busey Smart Home Services. AskShell.com is the website, folks. Michael.
Another question. I have a 2-story home and want to install a basement window where there's presently a concrete wall with no window. It would be situated directly below 2 large windows on the ground floor and the other above it. So there's 2 windows above that area they want to put the window. Do I need it to be placed a certain distance below the siding in order to guarantee the stability of the home? In other words, how high up is too high for the top of the window? They don't want their house to collapse. I'm planning the window to be 40 inches by 22 inches. Sounds to me like they should get an engineer, but you can
Well,
get
you
into
know,
that.
absolutely. It sounds to me as though they might be out in the Tules somewhere,
Yeah.
because this type of project is not something that's unusual, but on the other hand, it's not something that we do a lot of
Or do it
either.
yourself even.
But
Yeah.
because there may be regulatory concerns in doing this type of project, so you have to make sure that, number one, that you can get the permit to do so. Yes, you require a permit, okay? Right off the bat, yes, you do. Now, when you're putting a window into a concrete wall, that's obviously going to require a window well as well. Hey, that rhymes, doesn't it? A window well as well. Now, a window well can create a bit of a concern, especially with snow melt, rain, water runoff, drainage coming in from different angles from your grassy area or your garden area. All of these things have got to be taken into consideration because your home itself has got what's commonly known as the perimeter drains around the footings. And when you're digging down in order to open up a concrete wall to put in a window, the window well is going to be subjective to moisture, snow, as I indicated, which will have to one day or another drain away. And when it drains away, it has to have egress to the perimeter drains around the home to take it away from the footings of your home. So there's a lot more to it than just, can I put a concrete wall in a position of being challenged with opening up and putting a window in it, because that's the small part of this. And you might wonder, how could I say small part of putting a window in concrete? Well, cutting concrete is pretty simple, and it's done every day, putting doors in, putting windows in, and but you must go about it the proper way. So right off the bat, permit. 2, you'd have to get engineer to draw up the plan in order to do so. And that plan will show the size of the window allowing egress in the event of any fire. So you'd have a fire exit to consider. The window size, because of the zoning, if there are zoning bylaws in place because of the location of your home, the zoning bylaw changes, for an example, the amount of window glass or exposed glass to your neighboring home if you're in a subdivision. So that's all something that has to be taken into consideration. The window well, as I mentioned earlier, the window well has got to be installed properly, because any drainage of water or runoff water or snow, you want to either have a capping process or some means of having like a skylight application, or whatever it happens to be to allow light in, or if you want to just cover it up because of in the winter months with snow, then you got to keep in mind that anything at all has got to be removable very easily in the event if there's egress required to get out or through that purpose of fire exit. You want drainage, vertical drainage that goes from the bottom of the window well to the perimeter drain. So therefore, any rain water, any snow melt will get its easy, or have easy access to the perimeter drains to get the water away from the home. That can be done by installing vertical drops for using drain tiles, like perimeter drainage PVC pipe. That's a white pipe with the drainage. We have all that information on our website. So all that information is there for you, or being a member, you can send in an email anytime, and we can deal with drainage from a window well. So all of that is there, and but it all requires proper approvals, because resting points for floor joists,
Right.
all the openings
Well,
that
it's
you made
structural at
reference
that point,
above,
so
all those items. Is it an end of a home? Is it the side of a home? Is it the back of the home? Where are the rest points? Where is the structural the actual point of weight distribution on all those items like veranda posts and joists, etc. So load-bearing walls have got to be designed by engineers, and that certainly could be a load-bearing wall, and you don't want to have something that is going to have a point of concern stress-wise on your home envelope. So that's the approach that I would suggest you take. Can it be done? Sure, it can be done. But first and foremost, make sure that you can do it. Mike?
And on that note, we'll take one more break, and we'll be right back with a couple more emails from a club member. So please stay with us.
Folks, what is HouseSmart? Well, it's 10 years of experience putting a program together that has really worked for you, the homeowner. It's free for your use. We charge the trade, and there's no upcharge whatsoever to you, the homeowner. Also, they're certified. We certify them. We make sure, good, better, best, they are the best because they're right there with me on their shoulder. My brand, folks, you can be assured that you're going to get the job done right. Hi, Shell Busey here for my Shell Buzzy's Home Improvements. Right now is a perfect time to talk with our full-service home renovation department. They're the experts with kitchen and bathroom designs and renovations, additions, basement suites, and all exterior repairs. Projects big or small, folks, we do them all. Folks, my name, Shell Buzzy, assures you the job is being done right. Call us at 604-542-2236 or online, askshell.com.
And welcome back, folks, to my Shell Buzzy Ask Shell webcast on the internet. Isn't it a wonderful thing? Happy New Year again. Only a couple of days before on into a new year. And, a new year, it's going to be an exciting year. Golly, I could ramble off a few items that I'm not looking really forward to. They do involve tax. So all that GST, HST, PST, boy, oh boy, we got all that to face up to come the new year. But in any event, we're here to answer home improvement questions. Back to Michael Gibson, my manager. Who's next?
Yeah, we have one here. The homeowner's asking, when the hot or cold water is running for the tub, there's no leak from the shower head. When the cold is mixed with the hot, it leaks. What's the reason for that?
Well, that is a very easy question, but very difficult possibly in the theater of the mind to explain over the internet or even over a telephone. But the terminology that's used is siphon. And I'm sure everyone knows how to go about siphoning. Water from a pail, water from a tank, water from whatever, or gasoline from this or gas. Anyway, siphoning is when you use absolutely no power but gravity to move liquid. And in this particular case, it's the diverter valve and the shower head. The diverter valve is the little knob that you pull up when you turn your water on in the faucets and you mix the water to the temperature you want. Or if you've got a single lever faucet, the main thing is get the water temperature coming out of the spout that fills the tub at the temperature you want. And then you pull up the little knob on that spout, which redirects the water up to the shower head. Well, that particular valve that you lift up on is malfunctioning. Malfunctioning meaning that the washer that is shutting the water off and redirecting it to the spout or turning it around and sending it up to the shower head is what it's all about. But it's worn. The seat may be worn. Or the little washer that's on it is worn. Now, it's almost an impossibility to get a washer to fit that. It's almost an impossibility to get it open, to even get it out to put the washer on it, because it's an O-ring washer. So my suggestion would always be, how old is the faucet set? Should you consider maybe replacing the faucets? Or should you very simply put up with it? And a lot of people, when you look at the cost over that of replacing costs, or the time and effort that's required to replace it, the opening up of the wall behind, keeping in mind you can't, in most cases, open the wall on the tub side because of ceramic tile and finished a product on the walls. So you therefore have to go in from behind, in through a closet, or maybe in through a hallway, whatever happens to be in the opposite side of where the faucet end of your tub supply of water is located. So all of those things stack up to dollars, dollars, dollars. So if you're doing a complete bathroom remodel, for example, using our Shell Busey Home Improvement Division to come out and put a whole new bathroom in, is one thing. And that particular aspect of it becomes now a service that is going to cost money by a plumber, or put up with it, as I say. But what it is the washer on that diverter valve. That is the problem. Now, I know I can almost hear some of you out there saying, well, why not just change the spout with the diverter valve? That is something that you can do. That is something you can do. And you got to be very careful making sure that there's no caulking around the diverter spout that's going to cause cracking or sealing or freezing up of the threads that are going to allow it to come off. But you're going to use a adjustable wrench to do so, etc. So all of that being said, I would highly suggest that you look at having it done by a plumber. But what it is that you're looking for is a new diverter valve spout. That's what's causing the dripping. And I know it can be aggravating when you're mixing water and all of a sudden you get a wet head. You'll teach yourself to kind of lean in and reach over. It's just that easy.
It's a bit of exercise too, right?
Good exercise, yeah.
Okay, really quickly, we have time for one quick question, and then we have to finish the show up. I was wondering if it's okay to hang pictures or mirrors in the bathroom. I'm not concerned as the pictures would deteriorate because of the moisture, but she's worried about the potential for the holes in the walls that you punch for the nails to hang the pictures in the mirror to be a hazard for mold. So is that a problem she should worry about?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The size of a pin or a nail or the type of a fastener that is going to be suitable for, say, a heavy mirror or a heavy picture, all of these things that they have so little impact. And incidentally, you need air in and air out in order for air to move. So it's not really something that you're going to really have any concern about. And if it is just a picture of a family member or something artistic for purposes of in a bathroom, just a regular brass type of picture hanger is very, very adequate, and it's not going to be something that's going to cause a concern of mold in behind the walls. Most important, as we've mentioned many, many times, and in fact in this show today we're talking about air infiltration or draft proofing. That's the most important thing. Draft proof your home, but certainly no fear, no concern with what you're speaking of for hanging pictures or a mirror. It's just that easy.
And on that note,
can I say Happy New Year now?
I think you can.
It's come to the end of the show, but I'm going to let Michael say his words, and then I'm going to come back and say bye-bye.
Yeah, just one quick reminder is if you can't watch the whole show right now, you can go back to our website, watch it after the fact, and we'll have another show for you next Sunday, which is January 6th at 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific. And please tell your friends, family. It's a great show. We're enjoying doing it for you, so I hope you're finding it beneficial and informational as well. So I'd like to wish you a happy new year and a great start to 2013 from Shell Busey's House Smart Home Services. And turn it back to Shell for a couple last words.
And thank you very much, Michael. And folks, keep in mind, AskShell.com. All the phone numbers are there to get in touch with us. All the information is there to get the home services from our referral network. And yes, we have full Shell Busey home improvement services. If you want a new bathroom, a new kitchen, you want an addition added, you want the basement finished or a new deck, whatever it happens to be, we have those services for you here at Shell Busey's House Smart. So I want to thank you very much for being with us today every Sunday from this point on, from 9 a.m. until 10 a.m., at which I will say Happy New Year and the very best of health to one and all. Love you all. Bye-bye for now.
Hey folks, it's just that easy. Hey folks, it's just that easy. You mix it up, you fix it up, you do it yourself. He can turn your little shack into a first-class castle. Save you time and money and a great big hassle. Hey folks, it's just that easy. You mix it up, you fix it up, you sand it down, you paint it brown, you measure twice, you cut it once. It's just that easy.